All right, we're live on episode 49, I think it is, right? As I can't even figure out how to share this thing on Facebook. I mean, Jesus,
That's
it's so hard to figure out. Okay.
98. We are.
We are halfway to 98. That is correct. So we have a game to review. Last time we didn't have one. Now we do have one. So that's exciting, I guess. Then there's a game to preview for tomorrow, and then we get into some bracketological stuff and what people think of Illinois and where they should be. And obviously, I have my own opinions on these things, but we'll get into that. But let's start with the game from Friday night. Illinois beats Iowa for the second time in about 14 months. Back-to-back wins against Iowa, both of which at home. My margin of victory was 5, nailed it, almost got the score right. I was 2 points off with both teams. So
I was pretty
80-75.
close. I was pretty close, 98, 95. It was on pace to do that. Second half got a little slower, though. But good game by Illinois.
Which is expected that Illinois is not going to they were trying to defend to where they wouldn't, let Iowa score 100 on them.
Yeah, and the second half, their defense really stepped up. The last 10 minutes, pretty much, they were pretty locked down. I know a lot of Iowa fans were complaining because Illinois wasn't called for a foul in the last 10 minutes, but Illinois was due to get some home calls, right?
I mean, they let them play. They let them play more than I thought they would.
They did. Nobody talks about how Iowa went 13 minutes without a foul in the first half. So it is what it is. Sorry, Iowa fans. We'll get some tissues for you. But player of the game. I think we both agreed on this. Trent Frazier. It was nice to have Trent back, playing with confidence. But really, the whole starting five played well, minus your boy Ace Wolf. But it is what it is. Maybe it was the yellow hair or whatever. But
yeah, that wasn't good.
But yeah, overall the starting five was really good. I don't think Adam Miller really did anything wrong. I mean, missed a few shots, but his defense was fine. He just didn't catch a lot of minutes towards the end. So, but Trent had 24 points, 8 of 13 shooting, 4 of 9 from 3, 4 rebounds and a steal. So he was very good. He was great on defense, holding Bohannon to 6 points and 2 of 6 shooting. And Trent played 38 minutes. So he played the most on the team. Go ahead.
That's exciting, obviously. So, you got that going. And let's see. This is a quote. Underwood on Trent. He's always got to bring up practice. He said about Frazier, he's been on a heater all week in practice. Io had his best week on the defensive side. I'm happy for both guys. So why does Underwood find the need to bring up practice?
He loves
every
his
single chance. I mean,
he loves them. I mean, I guess it shows that how you are supposed to play in a game, but I mean, I'm sure that they have good practices and then go out and throw out duds anyways. So,
well, the good thing for Illinois is that they had Io and Trent playing the way that they expect them to, and they didn't need Miller to do anything.
Right. So, and they really, I mean, that was the nice thing. And even Kofi, only had 9 points, but those guys were rolling. Trent was playing with a ton of confidence, like I said, and hopefully that'll carry over on after this game, because this is kind of the turning point. I mean, if Illinois is going to make a run at a Big Ten regular season title, this was a must-win game, and for them to come out and play like they did and play a full game, kind of a full game. I'll get into that later, but
against the second best team that they've played, and probably going to end up being the third best team they played, because Michigan they'll play next week. But I think that Curbelo, before we get to him later, maybe he should stop dribbling so much and move the ball.
What I hate about just college basketball in general is the drive and leave your feet. And then you have to try to get bailed out or, make a crazy pass. It just drives me nuts that once they get into the lane, they just decide to jump in the air and then they'll see if they can do something from there. But
do you ever see anyone on Baylor do that?
No. Probably not.
Exactly.
Better fundamentals.
Experienced guards and better coaching. So.
Wow.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, look at what Scott Drew's done there. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
That program was like 10 times worse than what Illinois was when Underwood got it compared to when Scott Drew got it. But, Frazier needed a game like this. You hope he can do the same thing tomorrow. And if he doesn't, at least, he's going to still play defensively. And,
And I think it's the shooting, shooting with confidence. When you make a few baskets, when you like the one that he made falling out of bounds with no time on the shot clock,
after
those
travel,
the faux travel. Yeah. So it was good, but Grandison I think was a huge player in this game. I think whoever runs our Twitter tweeted out that he might be player of the game, but then didn't pick him. But that's neither here nor there. But most minutes that Grandison's played all year, he played 30 minutes this game, which
he earned it.
Yeah, I agree. I do feel like his overall athleticism probably isn't as good as most. He still plays a little bit slower, but I mean, he does the things that you need a guy like him to do. I mean, he got 10 rebounds. He was, had the second most rebounds on the team, and that's something that Illinois has been lacking is the rebounds. And they finally had enough rebounds this game. They actually out-rebounded Iowa 39-33, which they haven't – I don't think they've out-rebounded a team in 3-4 games probably. But Grandison with a double-double, 11 points, hit a huge three with like 2.5 minutes left to really boost the team forward. And he played well defensively too. Had 2 steals and a really nice save falling out of bounds. But I think that he's now, I mean, this is going to be his role. He's going to be a starter, right? I mean, I don't see DeMonte taking it back at this point.
So what happens next year? If DeMonte stays and Trent stays.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know where that's going. It's going to be so weird.
Let's talk about it.
Well, what do you think?
I see that poster in the back, by the way. It's very nice.
Thank you. Very
Just
nice. Got in the mail today.
Yeah, I sent you the links. You could buy it because
run it back
limited.
Because you wouldn't buy it, so I had to buy it.
Well, why would I? I don't have the time for that. I got that back there that you also bought. So Grandison set the tone early for himself. He hit that mid-range shot.
Yeah,
and then he had another thing that he did that I forgot. So it's pretty good.
Yeah, he does. I mean, he's playing well, and he's. I feel like he's not that DeMonte's not an offensive threat, but DeMonte doesn't take shots. So I think Grandison would be more of an offensive threat than DeMonte overall.
I think DeMonte's still got something going on with his right hand. I think that's probably why he's not shooting. Probably. And he really doesn't shoot unless he's completely open.
Yeah,
and that's go ahead.
He only took 1 3 this game, and it was kind of like while they were on a fast break, and he was moving towards the basket. Wasn't really a DeMonte 3. Unless
he's completely set and there's not anyone that close to him, that's the only time he's going to shoot and make them probably. But the thing is, the thing that disappointed me with Miller in this game is that his looks were really good. I don't know why he's not making those.
Yep.
I think I think it could be something to do with the maybe his form.
Yeah, it just looks like it's like drifting. It looks like his ball drifts to the left or to the right. They're just not on target for some reason. So, but one guy that did shoot well from 3, Io, 3 for 3 from 3. I felt like he proved that he's one of the best players in the country against Iowa. Had a better game than Garza, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But 25 points, 11 of 18 shooting. Like I said, he was 3 of 3 from 3. And he finally got going in the first half because that's something Io's been kind of slacking on, not getting going to start the game. He came out ready to score, ready to play, had 19 points in the first half.
He attacked the rim.
Yeah.
A lot quicker than he usually does.
He did. And he was making those those funny runners that he takes. They were going in. And I always think that helps. Especially with him because he does take some tough shots. And so if those are falling, it's going to lead to good things. So I thought they played good defense against Wieskamp. I didn't realize Wieskamp had 19 points until I went back and looked.
He had a lot of contested threes.
He did. There were some that Iowa didn't get out on. And what Iowa does well is run out of bounds plays from underneath the hoop, and they usually set that up for Wieskamp to get close to the bucket. And Iowa got on his back a few times and couldn't get to him, but it was good that he had a game also, especially when we talk about Miller and DeMonte, and they really weren't there offensively. They weren't there much of the game. DeMonte played 12 minutes. Miller played 17. They were combined 0 for 4 from 3. So even if those guys knock down a few, I mean, Illinois wins this game running away, I feel. But yeah, as you talked about before, Curbelo, I thought he was really good. Had 3 turnovers again. I mean, I think that's his average now. You're just going to expect it when he goes out. But he was 3 of 4 from the field, and he kind of started hitting that little fadeaway jumper that he does. The shot that people were upset that he was taking earlier in the season. It looked like he found his touch again. And what Curbelo does and what we want him to do, he had 8 assists. So, leading the team in assists on the night, and he had 4 rebounds. So I did find this stat, which I don't really know if this has any significance anywhere, but he is one of 5 freshmen in the nation with multiple 8.8 assists, 4 rebound games.
It's the stupidest stat.
I mean, when you're looking for stats, you're always going to find stats, right? So, but that was from Illini News and Notes or whatever.
I wonder who the other 4 are.
Stats and Notes. I don't know.
I would think Jalen Suggs and Cade Cunningham have probably done it.
Yep.
I don't really know who else.
Yeah, and he's only done it in 2 games, so the Minnesota game I think was the other one. So I thought Georgie was good. I mean, he wasn't terrible.
I like how they forced the ball into him so many times.
How does it, I understand that they don't guard him like teams guard Kofi, but how does he get 5 shots up? I mean, it's unreal. And some of them weren't great shots. Probably 4 of the 5 of them. The one that he made was fine. But I thought he played well defensively. I was really worried about him playing defense against Garza. And as soon as he got put in the game, they went to Garza, and Garza posted him up and scored easy. And I was watching it with my buddy Troy. And I'm like, here we go. Georgie's going to struggle. But after that, it seemed like he started going defensively a lot better. So, he did what he needed to do. He filled that space when Kofi had to go out. And then, talk about Kofi, could have easily been player of the game. Only had 9 points, but 11 rebounds. And he literally won this game for Illinois down the stretch. He had the block that was, weird goaltending, whatever. Thank goodness they blew the whistle because Wieskamp had an easy putback. So, but great block. Then he had a steal, and then he's shooting his free throws, and you just make one. I mean, it was 1-1, misses the front end. Somehow nobody boxes him out, and it just kind of goes to him. And I got to say, his hands are apparently better because he dribbled that. He dribbled, rebounded that, which scared the crap out of me. But then he stepped up to the line, made them both. And he just kind of walked to the sideline to the coaches. And you could just tell how much, and we talked about it before the game when we did the preview, is that he thinks that this is one of the best rivalries in college basketball. And I think it's probably because he's part of it, which I understand. But you could tell how much he wanted this win. The only thing that I don't necessarily like is that why shouldn't all the games be this wanted? Like, why wouldn't you want it that much in all of them? Because Illinois hasn't played like that. So, but
maybe this will wake him up. Yeah,
maybe it will. But he did a great job on Garza. Held Garza to 19. I know that's a lot of points, but it's Luka Garza. He puts up 30 a game usually. So, and he was closing out on threes, which is something that he wasn't doing earlier. So I think him guarding Garza is going to help him, against Indiana, when they do play them tomorrow night, and actually getting extended. I felt like he moved a lot better in this game. So good for Kofi. Underwood did say about Kofi, he knows the impact isn't just about making baskets. His impact is what he does on the defensive end. Just hitting Garza over the course of 40 minutes wears a guy out. So definitely did that. I mean, and, got Garza in foul trouble. Garza probably could have got fouled out earlier because Kofi went up for the alley-oop and Garza literally just ran underneath him. But that's nor here nor there, but
yeah.
So
definitely a good game for Kofi. I mean, you wouldn't think, looking at his numbers.
Yeah, if you look at the stat sheet, but he went 5 of 7 from the free throw line. So I think he missed the front end of 2 of them or whatever it was. But that's awesome that he's making free throws. And his form looks good. I thought he made that first one, but, ended up short. But
I mean, if you look at Iowa in this game, I think if they would have had CJ Frederick, that would have changed it. Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they'd win, but I mean, if you look at the way Iowa played, I mean, Garza didn't have a great game for his standards. Bohannon didn't do anything.
Yeah.
I think Wieskamp was really their only really good player in this game because not only is he a good defender, he hit a lot of tough shots.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, so like I said, Illinois just needs to play like every team's Iowa, apparently. People were saying this is the first full 40 minutes. Well, we thought Duke was. I don't feel like this game was so much, though. I felt like when Garza went to the bench with 3 or 4 fouls, I think it was 3 fouls, and Illinois was up 6, and then they let Iowa back in the game. I thought that was a big momentum swing. I thought Illinois was going to be in trouble there. Luckily, they ended up pulling it out. But
them rebounding there, I think you could still consider it as a full game, unless we're going to make our standards for a full 40-minute game like impossible.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's what we're here for, right? Us guys that don't play basketball at a D1 level are going to criticize the kids that do.
I play basketball on Wednesday nights, and it's pretty damn close to D1.
But I just scrolling through Illini Twitter, I ran across this guy, and I screenshotted it. I don't know who he is, but at Blue Crew Boss, if you listen, I thought that he summed it up pretty well on Twitter. He said, Trent is the straw that stirs the drink, which is a great line. Almost as good as Hard Rockin' Dude. When he's confident and engaged offensively, Illinois is at its best. Clearly, Illinois needs a reason to play. When they are interested, they are a top 10 team. When they aren't, they're like a 20 to 25 team.
That's pretty good, though. If they're not interested and they're still top 25, I'll take that.
I will too, but I'm just saying. I thought that summed up kind of how Illinois' season has been, with the Maryland loss. And, you look at those, and it just doesn't seem like Illinois gets up for all the games.
Which is ridiculous. This is a team that won 21 games last year and was robbed of being able to play in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah. You'd think
why the hell would they not want to beat
they would want to dominate everybody. Yeah, I agree.
I think mentality of this team is the one thing that separates them from where they could be.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think this team right now, 16 games, they could be 14-2 or 15-1. And little mistakes here and there, not getting up for a game, not playing well for the first half. I mean, they've gotten away with not playing well in the first half for 2 games. So you look at the Northwestern games, the big example, they were down 15 at the half. They win the game by 25. That's never going to happen again. That was just an absolute meltdown from Northwestern. And then the other game where they got away with that, I would say, is probably, the Indiana game or the Purdue game where they didn't have a great first half and still won the game. So
Yep. So you go on #Illini Twitter after the game and you think, oh, they got a W, nobody's going to complain. But of course, people were complaining. Miller, his performance. Also, Brad Underwood did not put Coleman Hawkins in the game. After he said that he made a concerted effort to put him in the Penn State game, and he played 14 minutes, he didn't play at all. Thought it was weird. I don't think it really mattered. I don't know if Hawkins could really match up defensively against anybody on Iowa was probably a big part of it. It's just weird that Underwood goes through this, and maybe it's part of the game plan. I assume it was. I mean, obviously it was, but just weird that he didn't see the floor. But, my boy BBV got on the floor, may have missed a bunny, and you text me and said that he's terrible. But you know what? Yeah, I don't know. I assume that it had to be a matchup thing. It's the only reason why Hawkins wasn't in the game. But overall, good win. Illinois held Iowa to only 6 free throw attempts, and they only made 3 of them. So I think, people were complaining because of the fouls or whatever, but I think the fouls ended up being like 15-14 or something until Iowa went nuts with fouls.
Yeah.
But the defense, was just really good the last 10 minutes of the game. And Underwood said of the game that it was a winning mentality, and that's what we've been talking about. You've got to take great pride in what you do on the defensive side.
Be nice if they did that the entire season.
Yeah, and he said, but if you can stop them, I feel like we can do it against anybody in the country. Which
ever heard of Gonzaga, Brad?
He said top 2 or 3 offensives in the country.
There are 2 or 3, definitely, yeah.
Yeah. So
I don't know why you have to put top there because they're obviously never going to be number 1.
True. That's true.
Did you see the new Wooden Award watch list?
I did not.
Just saw it 11 minutes ago on Twitter. It includes Ayo Dosunmu and Kofi Coburn. So,
wow.
Illinois is one
As
of.
It probably should, right?
Yeah, Illinois is one of, I believe, 2 teams with 2 players. I think Gonzaga is the other one, and Gonzaga has 3 players. So, wow. Yeah, they have Corey Kispert, who's the best 3-point shooter in the country, no doubt. Jalen Suggs, who's probably the best freshman. I mean, I know Cade Cunningham's great. He's also on this list, but Suggs has
Different
performed
body.
really well.
I agree.
And Drew Timme is the other Gonzaga one. So Villanova has 1. Indiana has Trace Jackson Davis, who Illinois will see tomorrow. Actually, Villanova does have 2. And then other in the Big Ten, if we're going to talk about the Big Ten for a minute, Hunter Dickinson's on there. Marcus Carr's on there. So not a surprising list. Most of these players, I mean, Garza's obviously on there. So, Western Kentucky has a player. Congrats.
What'd you say Garza's odds to win it were?
Minus 2,000. He's going to win it easily.
No doubt.
And the only close players are like Jared Butler and Ayo and other Gonzaga players or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. But anyway, that's just the way that is. I got a blind resume for you later too that we'll get into, which is extremely exciting, obviously.
Yeah. So after Illinois wins this game, they tied for second in the Big Ten. And then Wisconsin goes to Penn State and loses somehow. And so now Illinois is sitting alone at second place in the Big Ten. So good things happened over the weekend.
You wouldn't think that they would be 7-3 in the Big Ten with the way people have been talking.
Yep.
All right. Ayo Dosunmu is named Big Ten Player of the Week. Routine.
Yeah.
Happens all the time. Not a big deal.
He should be at more. I feel like he's getting the Michael Jordan treatment like we give him,
Well, Garza kind of stands in the way. And
yeah. I mean, I saw another pointless statistic thing. He is only one of 2 players that are averaging at least 20 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists.
Who's the other one?
I don't know. They don't tell me that.
All right. I can find this out in seconds.
You go find it.
What else are you going to talk about while I find it?
Well, Illinois moved up to 12 in the AP poll. Is that correct?
Yeah, they did. They're number 4 overall in the Big Ten. In the AP, Michigan 3, Ohio State 7, and Iowa 8.
There it is right there. See?
Yeah.
I didn't know you made a banner.
Yeah, I did. I think, right? Yeah.
Which I think is probably about right. I mean, I thought probably 13, 14, but 12's okay. What'd you have them on your 30 list?
13, I think.
See,
I had them at 17 the week before, and I moved them up less than. Yeah, I had them at 13, so I moved them up 4. The AP moved them up 5. So, It's probably a product of a lot of top 10 teams losing from my 10. I don't know who the other player is because I can't find a site that has like assists.
Okay, well, thanks for nothing.
I'm gonna find it. I'm determined. If you have any questions in the comments, throw those suckers in there. I'm sure nobody does, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. My God, the NCAA website's terrible. Here we go. Okay. This is team stats. Come on. Oh my God, what are we doing? Okay.
That was a good job.
It's still going to take me a couple minutes here. You got to get all the numbers here with these stats. You got to find out who the other player is,
Who would you think it would be? If you had to guess.
Cade Cunningham, maybe? And he's averaging 18, 6, and 3, so he's a couple points off. Well, we'll just move on. Never going to find it. Okay, so what was it? 20 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, right?
Uh-huh.
All right. Marcus Carr, no. Let's see. Champagny, no.
Champagny.
I don't know how to pronounce it. Cam Thomas, no. Scottie Pippen Jr., there's no way he has that many rebounds, but he's close. Kispert, probably not. Nope. I'm going to find this. This is great radio.
Marcus Carr is 20 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists.
Yeah, he's a couple rebounds off.
Close.
Devontae Jones?
We're literally looking for one guy.
There's not that many guys that average 20.
Probably somebody from like Appalachian State or something.
I'm very determined to find this. Okay, so 20 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. People like this, trust me.
Do they?
Okay, so I'm going to go about this from the assist standpoint. I'm going to find someone that averages 4 assists that's a good player that plays a lot.
How many rebounds do they need?
6.
Ooh. How many assists?
4.
Devontae Jones is almost there.
I just looked at him. Okay, so give me the list of players that average 20 points. Do you have that in front of you?
There's a bunch. There's 32. Trey Mitchell. I'll go from the bottom.
Okay.
Trey Mitchell.
Where does he play?
Massachusetts. I mean, I can just click on him. TJ Starks.
Where does he play?
I don't have any idea what this is. CSUN, CSU Northridge Matadors. Is this even D1 basketball? Trace Jackson Davis does not have enough assists.
Yeah.
Corey Kispert.
No,
does not have enough assists.
This is going to take an hour.
Jameer Harris has 4 assists, but only 2.8 rebounds. Stanley Umude? How many rebounds they need?
6.
Maybe there's not another guy. Maybe this guy was just messing with us, huh?
It could have been, yeah.
Ever think of that?
I did not. Okay, what about Davion Warren? Find his numbers.
Davion Warren.
Hampton.
Sam. How many rebounds do we need?
6.
How many assists? 4?
4. This is so hard.
There's nobody on here that has 4 assists. This guy's lying to us. Oh, nope. That guy has 2 rebounds. Who did you say you looked at Antoine Davis?
No, I did not.
How about Obadiah Noel? Nope.
Who?
How about Justin Jaworski?
Nope. All right, I'm going to go out from the rebound standpoint.
AJ Brahma.
Try to find a guard who averages enough rebounds.
Cameron Shelton. Oh, how many rebounds? 6? 4 assists. I got him. You ready? Who? Cameron Shelton of the Northern Arizona Lumberjacks. 21.6 points.
How do you spell his last name?
Shelton, Shelton. 21.6 points, 6.2 rebounds, 4.1 assists.
Yes. All right. Boom. Only took 20 minutes to do that.
Well, on to the next one, guys.
Woo!
How's Illinois doing in the net rankings, huh?
All right. So the net rankings loves Illinois, and they have for weeks. Number 2 overall team in the Big Ten, 5th overall in the country, 1 spot ahead of Iowa, 2 spots behind Michigan. They're 5-4 in Quad 1, 3-1 in Quad 2, 1-0 Quad 3, 2-0 Quad 4 resume. That's pretty good. 5 Quad 1 wins, tied for most in the country with Ohio State, Missouri, Alabama, Baylor, Gonzaga. Pretty good company right there. They lost to 3 of those teams, by the way, Baylor, Missouri, and Ohio State. Illinois, Iowa, Houston, Indiana, Duke, and Tulsa are all 3-1 in the net. So there's your company for 3-1. Bracketologically speaking, of course, I have in front of me 6 bracketologists, and I have where they have Illinois currently seated, who they would play, and
it doesn't have your name on it.
I don't have a whole thing yet. And it is the top 8 seeds in each region of the region that they have Illinois in. Right. So we'll start. Mike DeCourcy, Fox Sports, has them as a 4 seed that would play 13-seeded Toledo out of the MAC. The other top seeds in this region would be Gonzaga, Houston, Florida State, Texas Tech, USC, Minnesota, and Xavier, which that would be definitely, because right there you got Gonzaga, who is the best team in the country. Right there with Baylor,
yep. Mm-hmm.
Houston is number 1 defensively, according to KenPom. Mm-hmm. Florida State, I don't know how the hell they would have them as a 3 seed right now, but whatever. Very good team. Texas Tech as well. USC's good. Minnesota, Illinois, seen them already. They'll see them again. And Xavier, decent team. All right, Jerry Palm of CBS Sports. Illinois, another one with Illinois as a 4 seed, playing 13-seeded Georgia State out of the Sun Belt. The top seeds in that region will be Villanova, Texas, Tennessee, Oklahoma State, Purdue, Minnesota, Louisville. So 2 more Big Ten teams. This would be pretty favorable because Villanova is definitely the worst of the 1 seeds that would be picked right now. That wouldn't be too bad. Texas is good, but how good are they? We'll find out when they play Baylor tomorrow. Tennessee's good, very good defensively. Oklahoma State, Underwood's former team for a year. They have Cade Cunningham, so that's all you need to know about them. They also play really hard. I mean, they stuck with Baylor in the first half without Cunningham. So Purdue, Minnesota, Louisville, Illinois has already seen 2 of those 3. Joe Lunardi, who just received an extension for what? On ESPN. Good guy. Seems like he does a good enough job. This was actually before the Iowa game, so he didn't even update today. Don't know why.
Lazy.
He's too busy signing that extension.
Contract extension. You didn't have to.
He has Illinois as a 4 seed, so a theme here. The first 3 of them as a 4 seed, playing Belmont out of the Ohio Valley. That would be a tough matchup. Belmont's always a team that comes in the tournament and at least stays with whoever they play. I think they were a play-in team a couple years ago. But I'm sure he might have Illinois as a 3 if they beat Indiana tomorrow after the Iowa win too. This is the region of death. Baylor, Iowa, Missouri, Tennessee, Oklahoma, Virginia Tech, Oregon.
Yeah, I'd pass on that.
Yeah.
For sure.
You have defense, offense. I feel like Missouri is like a tough team to play against. I don't know. Tennessee, defense. Virginia, West Virginia. Wait, Oklahoma. I read a line wrong. Oklahoma, they play well when they have the lead. They don't get rid of leads. Like, look at what they did to Alabama. They took that game over. Blah, 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 blah. All right, let's get to the good ones. The less mainstream ones. Jonathan Warner.
Illinois a little bit better.
from makingthemadness.com. As Illinois is a 3 seed, also playing Belmont out of the Ohio Valley. Top seeds in this region would be Villanova, Texas, Tennessee, West Virginia, Florida, Virginia Tech, Minnesota. Not too bad, still pretty hard, but it could be worse. Let's see. Much rather end up with Villanova over Gonzaga or Baylor. Yep, I would agree.
I agree. Absolutely.
I'd rather end up with Gonzaga over Baylor or Villanova, if I'm being honest. At least with Gonzaga, you'll be able to score some points easily and not get run out of the gym by an elite defense, which is exactly what Baylor did to Illinois in the second half. Okay. Rocco Miller of Bracketeer.org has Illinois as a 3 seed playing 14-seeded Navy out of the Patriot League. This is a pretty favorable region, in my opinion. Villanova, Houston, Texas Tech, Purdue, Kansas, Colorado, Clemson. You have Villanova, Houston are great teams. Texas Tech's a solid team. Illinois beaten Purdue. I don't think Purdue's going to go very far this year. Kansas is not good. They're going to be overseeded. Colorado's good, but they're in a very weak Power 6 conference. I think the Pac-12 is the worst conference out of the Power 6. And Clemson's another team that I think will end up being overseeded. It's like a 7 when they shouldn't be. So that's favorable. And then we have Tim Kruger of Stadium as Illinois as a 3 seed playing Siena. This is another favorable region. Houston, Villanova as the 1 and the 2. Then you have Kansas, Minnesota, West Virginia, UCLA, Xavier. So
Kansas is a 4. We can throw his out.
Yeah, I think his is pretty good overall, but that's a little much. And Minnesota's a 5 is a little rich for me too. Another favorable one, though, you look at the 3 non-mainstream ones. Illinois is a 3 seed, Illinois with a favorable region. And then you look at the mainstream ones, which, they aren't the best. Leave it at that.
Dennis said the stretch big on Gonzaga makes me nervous. Yeah, Illinois doesn't really have anybody to guard a stretch big like that. I mean, Grandison is kind of filling in. I think that's why he's getting more playing time because he can guard somebody like that. But, yeah, Gonzaga scares me altogether. It's just really good.
I'm not that scared of him, to be honest. I mean, I don't know what. I mean, calm down, people. I mean, they're a great team and definitely a 1A, 1B situation with Baylor. But
right.
Do you guys get more scared by elite offenses over elite defenses? Because I'm scared of Baylor. Baylor has gotten so much better since they beat Illinois, and you know how good they looked in that game? I mean, yeah, look at what Baylor did to Auburn. Auburn had no chance. They got Matthew Meyer just like with an insane tip dunk. Like, how does that happen? How do you let that happen? Also, Auburn can't even make the postseason because Bruce Pearl's a scumbag, but that's besides the point. All right, let's do a blind resume real quick, then we'll preview the Illinois-Indiana game.
Okay.
Blind resume for you, brought to you by nobody because we don't have any sponsors, but that's fine. All right. I know my screen's dark, so give me a second with that.
You need a ring light, bro.
I would never do that. Here we go. All right.
Oh.
Yeah, it's on Twitter. That's why it's doing that. All right. Blind resume. Which team should have a better seed right now? Team A is 18th in the net. KPI / strength of record, which is the index and the strength of record 22. BPI KP SAG 13.3, quad 1 3-3, quad 2 4-2, quad 3 2-0, quad 4 4-0. They're 1-3 in quad 1A, which I'm assuming is just the better teams of the quad 1 teams that they play. Right. Team B is 31st in the net, KPI and strength of record 15, BPI KP SAG 31.7. They're 2-3 in quad 1, 4-0 in quad 2, 2-0 in quad 3, and 5-0 in quad 4. They're 2-0 in quad 1A. So, which team do you like?
I would go with the first one.
And let me just help you with this in terms of giving you a visual of what these.
I need to see the numbers. I can't see them when you're.
This is from Lucas Harkins at Hardwired Sports on Twitter. I personally like Team B. 0 losses outside of quad 1.
Yeah, 2. Yeah,
and a 2-0 quad 1.
2-0. Yep.
Okay, so these two teams are. Why did I took the net rankings down? Dang it. So these two teams are Wisconsin and Virginia Tech.
Okay.
So I believe Virginia Tech's quad 1A victories are Villanova and Virginia because they beat Virginia last week and they beat Villanova early in the season. So pretty good wins for that team. They're a very up and down team, but they're also very good. And I think right now when my, kind of just writing seeds down to see what sticks, I have them around a 6. So, and I have Wisconsin around a 5. Maybe I tend to flip them after seeing those stats, but we'll see. We'll have a blind resume every week probably because I can just find them on the internet anywhere. But let's do the preview now. Illinois, Indiana. 8 p.m. tomorrow night on ESPN. Hopefully it's not Dockich. I know that there's that Twitter account that tweets out the
announcers.
Yeah, I was trying to find that.
I don't remember the name of it.
Announcer schedule thing.
I'm sure that's what it is.
That is not it. I can confirm. Here, I know how to find this. Watch this. And another section of the podcast where we're doing nothing. But that's fine.
The best parts.
All right, I found it. Let's see if it's up yet. I doubt it is. It's probably not going to be up till tomorrow. But if you look at ESPN tonight, they have Sean McDonough and Jay Billis on a Duke-Miami game. That's a waste of time. And then the late game, they have Bob Wischusen and Fran Fraschilla on Oklahoma, Texas Tech. So if we get them, Wischusen and Fraschilla,
I'd be okay.
I'd be definitely fine. Anything but Dockich, honestly. I mean,
true.
Earlier today for men's college basketball in the Louisville Georgia Tech game, that was on ESPN, right? Or I guess that was on ACC Network.
ACC Network. Remember, you're complaining because you don't get it.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't have to watch that game. So
wasn't much of a game.
Illinois is 11-5, 7-3 in the Big Ten. Indiana is 9-7, 4-5 in the Big Ten. The first meeting between these two was on December 26th. Illinois won that game 69-60. Illinois got off to a slow start. They had 6 days off, I believe, prior to this game, or 5 days off, or whatever it was. Both teams were very sloppy. Illinois was up 6 at the half, I believe, and Iowa really took the game over in the second half. Had 30 points, 11 of 17 in the field. Other notable stats: Kofi had 15 and 15 in this game, or in that game. DeMonte, 2 of 3 from downtown. Georgie had 7 points and he hit a 3. Hopefully, he doesn't shoot a 3 this time around, but
shooting 50%.
Yeah. Trace Jackson Davis had a terrible game. 11 points, 8 rebounds, 3 for 13 from the field. The only player that really kept Indiana in the game was Armand Franklin, who had 23 points and made like every shot. So
yeah, and I mean, just Kofi's size against Trace Jackson Davis, I think, really affects him. So hopefully that'll keep up. Liddell kind of got to have his way with Kofi a little bit more. So hopefully they didn't figure something out by watching that game tape, but we'll see.
Yeah. So the Hoosiers have lost 3 of their last 5. Lost to Wisconsin, Purdue, and Rutgers. Their 2 wins were Nebraska and Iowa. I'll mute it. So they're very weird, very odd team to evaluate. 3 of the last 5 losses, 9-7 overall. They're a good team, but this is a team that Illinois should really have no problem with. So I'm not so sure how it's going to go in terms of how Indiana comes out, because they have lost 3 of the last 5 and they beat Iowa in that stretch. It's a very weird, very weird situation. Hasometrically speaking, though, of course, if you look at overall, Illinois number 9, Indiana 30th. Offensively and defensively, you have Illinois 16th offensively and 5th defensively. Indiana 47th offensively and 24th defensively. So those numbers all favor Illinois. Strength of schedule, Indiana 16th. And just when you thought that was a really good strength of schedule, Illinois upstages them at 13. Record quality, Illinois 21, Indiana 59. And then expected outcome. So they had Illinois winning by 1 in the expected outcome over Iowa. So now it's 71.67 to 68.34. There you go. So
like
Illinois is going to win.
Close. Yeah.
They typically are until there's a really messed up game. Like I think they had Drake like 30 points over Illinois State, and that game went to overtime. Mm-hmm. And then tonight's probably the same thing. But, we'll see what happens. You look at Indiana's wins. They don't really have any – they have a couple of what you could consider, quote-unquote, bad losses. Their wins, I mean, they have a couple of good ones. Tennessee Tech, not a good win. Providence, decent win. Stanford's a pretty solid win. You have North Alabama, Butler, Penn State, Maryland, Nebraska, and their big win is Iowa. Lost to a really good Texas team, a good Florida State team. They lost to Northwestern when it was cool to lose to Northwestern.
when Northwestern was good for those.
Yeah, they also lost to Illinois, Wisconsin, Purdue, and Rutgers. So coming off a loss to Rutgers where they shot 62% from three, 10 of 16, they lose the game by 9. So
wow.
They're coming off. They lost at home in their last game. So it's going to be hard to do it 2 times in a row. But as we've said many times in this podcast, we always say, well, a lot of days off, Illinois is going to come out rusty. That wasn't the case in the last game.
Right. Hopefully, Indiana comes out rusty. Yeah,
need to show up. As of late, it looks like there's 2 different Illinois teams. I think the whole season's kind of been that way at this point.
Yeah, I mean that's typical Illinois, and it's kind of typical college basketball too. You don't know what team you're going to get. I mean, you look at the Big Ten, it's coin flip most nights. So
there's only 2 truly consistent teams in the country, maybe 3, maybe 4. Okay, maybe 4. But Baylor and Gonzaga, very consistent. They've blown almost everybody out. Michigan had 1 bad game. Houston had 1 bad game. So that's kind of what it's like right now. I mean, you look at the losses that those teams took. Michigan lost to Minnesota. Not a terrible loss, but Houston lost to Tulsa, which was bad. So you got to consider that. So your prediction?
I'm going to take Illinois, 78-67. I think that they're going to – I don't think this game is going to be close. I'm hoping it's not going to be close, but then again, I'm usually wrong. So
I'm going to keep it single digits. I'm going to take Illinois 80-71. We've been really close. At least one of us has been close like almost every game this year. That's how smart we are. So should win this game. We'll see. We'll find out tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, of course, a late game on ESPN. So they had 8
o'clock games are killing me.
8 o'clock with Fran Fraschilla is better than 8 o'clock with Stephen Bardo. So, all right, let's go around the Big Ten real quick before we wrap this up as we both click it. Observation, Michigan State is bad. I know they had a COVID pause. I think Illinois would have ran them into the ground if they actually played that game a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. I just hope they don't reschedule it and then Michigan State's on a run and figures out what they're doing wrong.
I'm not scared of them.
I'm not scared of them.
This is not a Winston Tillman team. This is
nobody. Rocket Watts got benched.
Aaron Henry should be better than he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not a good Michigan State team. They put up 37 points against Rutgers. 37. And then the game against Ohio State yesterday was like semi-close for like a couple of minutes. And then even when Ohio State was only up like 9, you knew the game was over. So they're in trouble. Rutgers, quote unquote, appears to be back. These wins aren't great. Indiana, that's a good win on the road. Michigan State, terrible. I don't know what Michigan State is. And Northwestern's terrible. I mean, Northwestern's a joke. What an embarrassing way to play. Yeah, they start out 3-0 in the Big Ten. They completely collapse.
Yeah.
Boo Booey's a fraud. Anyway, a little ricochet shot at him. Well, everyone talks about how good he is, and he has 0 points against Illinois. Seriously?
Just telling you how good Illinois is.
No, he chokes in every one of their losses. He's been terrible. I guarantee it. I want to find out this dude's game log. I mean, I don't want to go after him because I'm sure he's a good guy, but on with this. Averaging 9 points a game, 37% from the field.
Terrible.
Also, what kind of player from Albany, New York wants to waste their time at Northwestern?
You know, sometimes you only got certain options.
So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They've lost 8 games in a row. And Boo Booey has scored double digits in 2 of those games. 2 points, 0 points, 0 points, 5 points, 12 points, 9 points, 18 points, 2 points. Fraud. He had 30 against Michigan State. Everyone acts like he's the greatest thing ever. Get out of here with that. All right. Michigan, 18 days off before they play Illinois on the 11th. So next Thursday. Their last game was on January 23rd against Purdue, and they beat up on Purdue pretty swiftly and easily. Their games with Penn State, Indiana, Michigan State, Northwestern were all postponed. So what's Michigan going to look like when they come back? We'll find out because they're not even practicing. I'd assume they're not. So okay. What is this? 2007? Come on.
I mean, Tom Izzo is definitely the best coach in the Big Ten. So can't say.
I don't think he is anymore.
Well, go pound nails with Steve Peichel then.
I think he's probably number 3.
You're crazy. Fran number 1 or
Fran is like 10.
Okay.
Because look at him and Underwood are similar, but not similar in terms of what they've done. Like they have really good talent, and I feel like they're kind of hurting their own teams a little bit at times. So I'd say the top 3 Big Ten coaches right now, I would say just to disrespect Tom Izzo, I would say number 1 is obviously Steve Peichel. Number 2 is Chris Holtmann. Number 3 is Izzo. Number 4, Juwan Howard. That's kind of how I look at it. Number 5 is obviously Fred Hoiberg, obviously.
Yeah, he can just keep spreading the corona around the Big Ten.
All right. At number 6, Underwood. Number 7, Fran. I'll put him at 7. Even though he's a bird-looking bitch. So I'll put Archie Miller at 8, even though he's not good at all. I'll put let's see here. Who else is in the Big Ten? I'll put whoever Penn State's coach is at 9.
Okay.
Put Pitino at 10, overrated trash. Chris Collins at 11, overrated trash. I forgot who else is in the Big Ten. Oh, yeah, Turgeon, screw him. 12. 13 will be – who am I forgetting?
You only got 1 left. Did you say guard?
Oh, yeah, guard 13 because I forgot him. And Painter 14. So there you go.
Great. Somebody write that down, put it on Twitter.
That was 5% a joke and 95% dead serious, kind of.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
So good slate of games tomorrow, you said.
Yeah, I think so. Michigan State, Iowa is tomorrow.
Iowa by 20.
I think they're a 10.5-point favorite. So we'll see if Tom Izzo can coach his team to victory.
Doubt it.
Okay. Penn State plays Wisconsin.
Wisconsin revenge game by 25.
Second time since because they played Saturday, in which Penn State beat them.
I don't know what the hell happened to that game.
And then Purdue plays Maryland, and Purdue has broken into the AP top 25. They're 24th after beating Minnesota over the weekend. So some good games. Tomorrow, of course, Illinois plays, but this is the other teams we're talking about.
Ohio State, Iowa is the game to watch right there on Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday. That's a huge game. I believe Ohio State moved up to 7 or 8 in the
Who do we need to win that game as Illinois fans if Illinois beats Indiana?
Does it matter?
Who are you more worried about to go on a run to finish the season? I would say I would want Ohio State to win.
Yeah, I'd be more worried about Iowa running it out. I think Iowa is skidding right now, and they always talk about how Fran can't coach in February, so they probably need that win. But,
yeah.
And then the other game that you threw on there because I didn't. Minnesota plays.
Not a bad game. Rutgers.
No, it's gonna be a good. It'll be a good basketball game. But
yeah,
all
Rutgers
the other games include a ranked team. So
who cares about ranked teams?
People.
The AP poll.
The casuals.
The AP poll sucks.
Casuals care.
All right, I guess that's the end of the episode.
That's be it. I hope you guys enjoyed that 10-minute intermission while we looked up who the other guy what was his name, you remember?
Oh my god.
Shelton was his last name. That's all I remember. Anyways.
Blake Shelton.
Blake Shelton, the basketballer.
Shelton.
He's from Northern
Cameron
Arizona.
Shelton.
Obviously, Cameron.
So. Looked it up.
All right.
All right. That'll do it. Episode 50, the big one, halfway to 100, the big one, coming probably on Friday to talk about this game and a hopeful win over Indiana. And then they play Wisconsin on Saturday. So there you go. Well, that hope you enjoyed. Blah, blah, blah. Rate, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we'll see you later.